Australians live in the biggest houses in the world, but as a result, we tend to waste a lot of space. So this show is actually about reinventing and reusing the space that we actually already have, and about knowing when to do it yourself or bring in a professional.
And when you do use those professionals, it's about knowing what questions to ask.
And how to give new life to the space we live in on any budget.
Really see it for what it is.
I'm looking for a colour that I really like. It's called Antique. For me, it's a knockout. It's a colour that goes with absolutely everything. People always tend to sort of concentrate on white. I find white a little bit boring, especially for a space like that. It's already quite light and bright. That ceiling had masonite on it. It looked a little bit cheap. We're going to actually paint the whole thing one colour, so the whole space will look uniform. When you're doing a space, you edit. So rather than putting everything in at once, go slow. And I'm very much of the adage, less is more. I like this because it's just really simple and plain. That would be my first tip, less is more. Now what we're going to do is put up these matchstick blinds. It actually suits this space and it suits the colour, and it also gives it some sort of texture, and it goes with the seagrass on the floor. You can go to a big Bunnings or somewhere like that and actually get something that's really cheap. Not everything has to be expensive to look good. I think it'll transform the space. So where Amanda's standing, there wasn't actually skirting board, so what we did was we painted it. And also here, so that's a good example of using colour to actually unify a space. So it doesn't really matter what the surface is or the texture is, the colour will actually unify everything. Quite often it's the hallway, the front entry is ignored, and it can be glamorous, it can be utilitarian, it can be functional, all those sorts of things, but I think above all it should actually be welcoming. Approach your space using your left and your right brain, the creative and the financial. So it's not whatever is fashionable. I'm not interested in fashion, it's actually about something that will last the distance. This is now a usable space, and it's actually warm and welcoming. Not only is it a front entry, but it's actually giving the homeowner a place she can work from and use as a study. We've pretty much done this whole space for about $600 or just under. Paint, floor coverings and blinds. So that's the opportunity. Don't think outside the box, transform the box. Because no matter how much space you have, treat it like your life. It's up to you to make the most of it. Space, not waste.